What do you see around you?
A field of cows, some cows here, and it's just the afternoon sun, and we're just lying there under a tree, lying under a tree in the afternoon sun, just relaxing. I used to come here quite often.
Where is it located? This tree that you like?
Oh, this cow paddock.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it was where Greece used to be a very, very long time ago.
Go on.
I usually, meet up at this place, this cow paddock. I meet up here with Apollo. I meet up with him at this place.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do when you meet up?
Oh, we just talk and we enjoy each other's company. It's like a break time, a break away from what we have to do usually. It's like leisure time. So when we have our leisure time, we come to this place and it's nice just to be together in this beautiful place. And the cows are so nice, peaceful, and sometimes we pat them. We just have a lot of, it's very comforting to be together.
So do you have a body in this lifetime that you're looking at, or?
Yeah, this is one of Lumina's memories. This is like a very happy memory.
And the cows are yours, or do you just look after them? Or?
Yeah, we look after these cows. We teach people using these cows. We teach people, I guess, agricultural skills.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the people, I don't think they knew much at this stage. I think they were very traumatized. So, we just teach them how to look after these animals. And we teach them if, like, the cow is giving birth, what to do. So sometimes we have to, I guess, put our hands in the cow and show people what to do if that happens. Like farmers do today, to just help out the cow and help it give birth. And we do demonstrations where we were teaching people how to get the milk from the cows and put it into a big terracotta pot. And this is good food for the people because some of them are very traumatized, and I guess like they need some good food so that they can grow strong and their brains can grow. So this is very nourishing food for them, the milk.
Is it still now the case with the humans today?
No, the milk has been, I guess, tampered with too much. Like when you have it in its original form, it's like it's much better. Like they do too much unnecessary things to it. And they tell you that, it's for safety reasons, but like it just destroys all the good stuff in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So we use this paddock for this purpose and to teach people, but we also like viewing after we sort of teach people, we just sort of stay in the paddock and we just talk by the tree, and sometimes we take a nap together.
So do you have a human body in this lifetime as Lumina?
Yeah, well, I manifested my body when I first came here. I manifested my body with my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do physical things and people can reach out and touch us. People can touch us, and we look like we're, I guess, different. We're kind of we're very beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
uncannily so. Like, it just looks a bit, we look a little unnatural because we're very beautiful.
In
But
what way?
like that was just the form we manifested. Well, when I look at Apollo, his face is very like very beautiful, and he kind of like, it's like a feminine masculine face. I don't know, like it's a beautiful, he kind of has like an androgynous sort of appearance, and he has this curly long hair, and it's like this golden color, and he has a golden sort of headband, and his skin is kind of like bronzy, and he's like very like he's muscular and thick. He's and his nose is like very straight, and his lips are very like they just look. He just is perfectly proportioned
Mm-hmm.
in how he is, and I'm trying to see if I can look at me. Mostly, I look at him because I'm with him a lot. But like when I look at me, my face is like very. I'm shorter than him, a little bit, but I'm taller than all of the other women. But he's very tall, and he has just muscles for days. Like I don't know, he's just like, it's like he didn't skip leg day, if you know what I mean. Like even his legs have a nicely shaped, and he just wears like a toga, like like just a cloth
Yeah.
around that area, and it's like kind of fastened by like a pin.
Mm-hmm.
But he has some jewelry sometimes. So when we're working, he doesn't really have that much jewelry. He just mostly has the headband. But but when I look at me, I just have like a sort of a short dress, a short white kind of dress, and some sandals and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a small bangle. But yeah, when I look at my face, I kind of look very like cherubic, in the face, like
Mm-hmm.
very very pretty, very pretty. And I have some hair in my face, like on the top of my head. Not
Mm-hmm.
exactly like the bangs that I have right now, but there's some hair there. My hair is like a little bit, when it's like natural like this, it's a little bit more like wavy than I thought it would be. It's like dark and wavy, and his hair is my hair is black and wavy, and his hair is like a golden color. And we're just teaching people some stuff. And yeah, he is with me.
Is this where the sculptures have come from, like in people's minds? Is that?
Oh yeah. There's some sculptures that I've seen that are quite accurate. Some of them aren't. But some of them really. There's one that I'm thinking of that really does capture his face. And there is some that really capture what he looks like,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be the more androgynous looking sculptures of Apollo. And he does look like, from what I can see, they got his depiction pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get mine very good, but they did it good with him. They did it good with him.
Mm-hmm.
They got his pretty good because I think he's pretty memorable, actually. He's very, very pretty.
Now, did he choose his body so he can help him in this lifetime or help the people?
Um, he is very muscular, and well, I guess that doesn't, how muscular you are, it doesn't really have an effect when you have, well, not, it's like we chose these forms because they like reflect our personalities,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yep.
They reflect like how we feel inside. So it's like an avatar, when you play a game like The Sims or something, and you just choose what you want
Yep.
based on your preferences. And
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like these were our preferences, like that was his preference to look like that when he manifested his form.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very easy for us to sort of to change our body and using our consciousness. We're very advanced.
So it wasn't the same as it is now that you were born as a human. You were just.
No, no, no. We weren't born. These We are Elohim, and we
Mm-hmm.
weren't born to. We're a different species. We're not human at all. Completely different. I mean, we look like humanoids, but we're not human.
Mm-hmm.
We're not human at all. We're a completely different species. That's why we can do different things.
So would Elizabeth be considered as an Elohim, or would it be as a humanoid, or that wouldn't change?
Um, yeah, like a
Mm-hmm.
hybrid of these two.
Mm.
Like the blood has to be more. And like, I guess the DNA and blood needs to be more altered to
Mm-hmm.
contain our souls. The blood needs, and the body needs to be more in alignment.
Mm-hmm. So when you were teaching the people on how to care for the cows, what else were you teaching them?
Mm. And seeing we like putting things into jars. Oh, I think we're teaching people how to pickle and can things, like preserve things in jars, so that, you know, if they don't have food, then they can have this spare food, so that, you know, our efforts don't go to waste, helping people get back on their feet. Because, yeah, they're fermenting some things in these terracotta jars. And we also show them how to make good baskets, these baskets and things like that, weaving and whatnot. But we're teaching them how to preserve things properly, or the process, so they don't like open it up and it's rotten or something. That they can have preserved food in these jars.
And what do they use to preserve the food?
There's some stuff with some salt in it. There's some meat that's been like heavily, I guess, wrapped in salt and different processes to kind of dry it out, like making jerky type of things. But this is more with some fish. I saw fish being put into these jars, like, I don't know, dried bits of fish. It doesn't seem very nice, but this is like kind of survival type of food. So it's like, I don't know, they're drying these fish and stuff. And there's some bits of fruit and other things and vegetables that they do this to as well. And preserving them in oil.
So how long were you and Apollo there with them?
Oh, we were there for generations and generations. Like, we went around the world really to help with different things, but see, at least in this place, there was like, you know, some people, and then their children came to the classes, and their children came to the classes, and we don't really die. We don't die.
And how were the humans that you were teaching at the start? Were they?
But just hold on for a second. Just gotta get the conscious mind to just recede a little bit more.
Yeah. Just
You
if we
can
can
remember
press
more things. Yeah.
Elizabeth's conscious mind to recede a little bit more, so we can continue with the session.
Okay, I'm just adjusting. Yep, just adjusting to the body.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly adjusting to the body.
Okay.
Okay. I feel a bit more comfortable in the body today.
Oh, that's good. So you were having a few problems the other last times.
Yes, yes. There's more light in the body this time.
Yeah, good.
There's more light. From today going to the beach, there's been more light. There's more light in the body.
Mm-hmm. And that helps
Well,
you when you.
if it feels warm and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So we were talking about when you were in Greece with Apollo and teaching the people how to.
Yeah. Yes, the people had to learn some things because they were very poorly at this time.
Mm-hmm.
They were going backwards in their ways. So we just give them some help.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind thing to do. This is my job to help, because when you are angelic beings, the first job above all is service to others. I feel like I was able to do this well in this instance.
Mm-hmm. And how was the communication back then?
Oh, we were able to do telepathy with some individuals. However, we did speak some of the local languages, but because we telepathically picked up from their thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense, how to speak the language. So maybe we sound a little bit strange,
Mm-hmm.
but we were pulling some words from their consciousness to say things, and we got our point across, but sometimes we said some strange things. We said some strange things, but usually when we were scanning their consciousness for the language component, then we would use their local language in the best way we could to speak to them, so they at least understand us at a very basic level.
Mm-hmm.
But some people we could use telepathy, and some people they were not as evolved, so we had to do it a different way.
As in more of a visual or?
No, they don't. It's like their brain was blocked.
Okay.
It was blocked to receiving the messages from telepathy, like a visual way or another way. With these people, we just scanned their consciousness and look for some words to use to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so is this after or before Atlantis?
This was after a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So after these people were not doing so good, this is why we have to teach to them. So before, in Atlantis time, they were fine. They could do all of this stuff. They were very, very high technology.
Mm-hmm.
But afterwards, they forgot. They lost everything, so they have to start again. Like if for example, you lose your house and all your money, you have to start from square one. This was like a humanity. They lost everything and had to start from square one.
So how come they lost everything?
Because Atlantis was fallen, and there was some technologies that they didn't lose everything actually, but there was some technologies that were brought out of this place that I guess, you see, when everything collapsed into the ocean, a lot of technology and all of this stuff was lost, but some of them like made their way, like vehicles and whatnot, like a spaceship type of thing traveled elsewhere. And there was some technology that people had brought with them, but this was coveted. You know, if people had this kind of technology, they keep this thing to themselves, you know, and don't let another person have it.
Yeah, that's true. Now, is there when Atlantis happened, was it so? Is it because people got too advanced or too greedy, or why did it?
It wasn't because advanced, because they got the darkness, the balance had been lost significantly. Like, these people were advanced, let's just say very advanced. However, they were not treating each other with respect. They were treating each other in a very disgusting way. Okay, and especially with some of the technologies was actually forbidden in the universal sense. So especially with the CERN technology, this one was forbidden, okay, because it has very negative effects. But also they were doing other things, like they were doing like colonizing different lands, very military. They set up colonies around the world, especially in Europe. And then they sunk Lemuria and whatnot. And there was lots of things that were no good. Like, this was like very colonizing country, if you know what I mean. Very, very colonial. Like, towards the end, they just thought that any sort of primitive people, which there was primitive people, it was more mixed at this point in the world. So Atlantis was very, very advanced, and then there was other peoples in the world that were more primitive. And they just thought, oh, well, we can just take over them because we are better than they. You know, like the white conqueror type of this pattern originated from this time of the white conqueror and coming over, and our ways are better than these savages, and so they just wipe out the people or do what they like with the people. It comes from this time, this pattern within humanity. Like, we have patterns in our basic lives. You know, every person has patterns in their consciousness, but this is overall consciousness of humanity, like the mass consciousness. There was this pattern of this advanced civilization, which is very unbalanced and not in the feminine way, and then they go over and then they take over the feminine one. You know what I mean? Yeah, this type of thing. Atlantis was too unbalanced in masculine way. Like, they went too into this way, and they too into the ways of the mind and not into the ways of the heart. Like they were too focused in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a very good psychic skills, however, no development in the heart, which is why they were able to do things like think it's okay to treat other beings just like slaves type of thing. I'm seeing, and they did cannibalism on some people for pleasure, like just I don't know how anyone could get pleasure from this, but this was when it was very unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this society very, very much towards the end reminds me of, have you seen the movie The Hunger Games?
Yep.
And this city called Panem.
Mm-hmm.
Panem. I feel like this concept was inspired by these deep memories within humanity. This series, this movie and book series,
Mm-hmm.
because Atlantis was very much like Panem. So you imagine all the people, they're very fashionable, and there's some shops and exciting and centers and exciting things and wearing fashionable clothing, but there is no care for each other. So that's why they, could do mean things to each other.
Yep.
Yeah. Very much like that book, Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm. Where was it located?
So in the Atlantic Ocean,
Mm-hmm.
where, America, so off the coast of America, like Europe, so off the coast of Europe, off the coast of America,
Mm-hmm.
and then, it come up to around about the Egypt point of Africa, so in line with these. So it was like this place in between that row of ocean, in between America and Europe and Africa, and the big top of Africa. Yes. So this is where it was located,
Mm-hmm.
and there is not anything there today because it's gone.
Yeah. Were Atlantis and Lemuria neighbors?
No, Lumiria was other side. So it was what would you say? This is Pacific Ocean, like very, very. Lumiria actually much bigger than Atlantis.
Mm.
So Hawaii, this would include like the other side of America, if this makes sense. So Hawaii, around where Philippines and Vanuatu, and all over the way to New Zealand, I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say that the people from Atlantis they sunk Lemuria?
Yes. This happened. They did this method that actually is used today. They did this method where they I'm seeing some underground. They put submarine bombs, so little missiles, and then hit points underground. So they went underwater to do this. They went underwater with a submarine type of what we would call a submarine today. They went underwater with a submarine, and then they hit certain points around the landmass, like geological activity points.
Mm-hmm.
So when they hit these points, they can make earthquakes, they can make tsunamis, they can bring continents under the sea. It just depends how many explosives they do. But they did many explosives for this one, so it brought the whole continent down. Oh, and the explosives were very, very powerful. They were like electromagnetic. So they had this reverberating, so they had to get the submarines quickly out of the area after they did this.
Mm-hmm.
And they did this. They actually brought this back in modern times. This method.
Mm-hmm.
They brought this method back. And do you know the 2011 tsunami of Japan?
Mm-hmm.
They did this. They did this to Japan. In modern times, it was the same principle of what they used back then. It was the same principle.
So man has come to invent it again or use it again.
Yes, it's come back into the collective consciousness. Yes, it came back. This method.
And why did they want to sink Lumiria?
The people they did not get what they wanted out of the people. They went there for many times. I've seen they went to different places many times in their vehicles, like a spaceship type of thing, and then went to them. And they didn't get what they want. They were like prying. They didn't get what they want, so they decided, okay, well, we are going to do this the hard way now. You left us no choice. So they just sunk it. But actually, these people were very smart to not give them the information and things that they wanted to know. It's very sad, this one. But yes, this was how it happened. It was like a genocide of these people.
Did any of them survive? Did they swim anywhere or?
You can't swim from this type of thing. Some of them left beforehand. I'm seeing in boats, but and through other means. But the majority were just dead. The majority. Maybe only a small percentage escaped using different means. It's like they were warned by their higher self to move away. If that makes sense.
So who ruled Atlantis? Like, was there like a group of people that were in power or?
There was one person who was like I'm seeing he was like there was like a person in power, and then they had a shift to another person. But the person who was like a ruler or leader or king or whatever, this person was controlled by shadow shadow government type of a thing. This person was controlled by, I'm going to say, dark brotherhood, of which was like a cult group of this time.
Mm-hmm.
So like a dark occult group called Dark Brotherhood. Yes. And so this was like the shadow government. So it is very much like today, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would you say that there's a lot of people that lived in Atlantis times that have reincarnated here on Earth now?
Yes, yes, yes. So many have to revisit this time, because of course you have the repeat in this time, the
Mm-hmm.
various technologies and things and shadow governments, and it's like they have to relearn this cycle. So of course they have come back. They have to complete the cycle.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why so that's what they're doing here, completing the cycle.
Yes, because first time there was abuse of power, shadow governments, technology, all of these type of things. And clones, they were doing clones, and people and genetic experiments and
Like,
genetic hybrids. Yes. And they were doing this in laboratory back then, but now they are doing this hidden in laboratory as well. They are creating some in laboratory today. They are creating like things that were like they created in Atlantis time too. Like I'm seeing a person who has pig nose.
yeah.
It's kind of stupid. This person, like, it's not very intelligent because they took a human mixed with a pig, you know.
And
It's
obviously,
no good. Yeah, like a chimera. They were
and
creating chimeras back then, and they create chimeras now in some of these underground laboratory type of situations.
do they just keep them caged or?
Yeah, unfortunately, I see the pig person, and they just keep it in a enclosure type of thing, and they don't. These beings don't have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a good life.
Would you say since they're clones, they wouldn't have consciousness like source consciousness or?
I think they can put some souls into these bodies, or some souls float into these bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how would they animate the body otherwise if they didn't put anything in there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it will have to be animated by something, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, it's just like a dead body. People don't realize that it is the soul that gives life to the body, not necessarily the physical heart and mind is working.
Mm-hmm.
You can have that and still be dead, you know,
Yeah.
from in other ways. Like, so it is the soul that animates the body.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So what did Atlantis look like? Does it look like our world now or?
There was high-rise buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had some griffin statues of eagle and griffin type of things. Like they had some pillars like Greek style in some places in other places it was like high-rise buildings, and in some places there was like rows of trees planted in straight lines for decorative purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a mixture of different things, but it was very, very beautiful city in some places. I'm seeing they have like a like a mixture of what we would call Greek architecture and Egyptian, like little bits of what we know from these places,
Mm-hmm.
like the pillars and statues and type of thing. In pyramids, there looked like there was a pyramid that looked like made of glass in some parts, like a glassy type of one. And there was griffin statues, eagles. Do you know the symbol of the two-headed eagle
Mm-hmm.
that is on some family crests and in like I'm going to say like Illuminati type of family bloodline type
Mm-hmm.
of crest. The two-headed eagle. The two-headed eagle is come from this place. This is where the symbol of the two-headed eagle come from.
Mm-hmm.
It come from here originally.
So did who flooded Atlantis? What happened when it disappeared?
It was like there was like an effort by a couple of beings that were just tired and had enough, and they kind of like they used their inner power to do this. Actually, it was the crystals, the red crystals. The red crystals blew this place up. They shattered the ocean, like I'm going to say the tectonic plate underneath.
Mm-hmm.
It affected this in this way. So this was like most like a divine intervention, like enough people didn't want it to be around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were certain people who were given the instructions within their hearts and tapped into this high energy, and this destroyed the place because they had psychic powers that were a lot more powerful than today.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that they have the power within them to do this actually. So when they connected to these crystals, then it was blown up.
Mm-hmm. And did any of them survive?
There were some that took their vehicles, and they had a premonition that this was going to take place. So they escaped using their spaceships, vehicles, and then they went to other places like I said before session. There was the dark ones. They did have premonition, And so they took their spaceship and then they traveled to around Syria and Middle East and other places around Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Thoth, and he traveled away. He traveled away. Thoth. Yes, you know the Egyptian god Thoth. He received this information.
Mm.
He received this information from his, I'm going to say, his galactic family, and in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
In his heart, he knew it was about to happen. So he took his spaceship and some people from the Brotherhood of the Light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing they packed up some things and they went in a spaceship and went over to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And Thoth escaped this way. But after it happened, he was distraught, and he went back. He told me this. He went back to look for survivors, and he couldn't find any. Once the news got out that actually did happen, he was surprised. He was like, "Oh, it did happen. Okay." And he was distraught by this, and he went back to just scan the area, scan the water around, but all he could see was destruction. Well, it was gone. It was gone. It was completely gone, and all he could see was body parts, people's body parts floating to the surface, and debris, various debris on the surface. He could not see the continent anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was all gone. And he was looking around. He was circling around in his spaceship. And he even circled around on the shorelines around where the shore might like dump some things, wash up some things on the shore. He
Mm-hmm.
was checking this area, and no, he just seen bloated dead bodies and various debris. Like he couldn't see anyone. He couldn't see any survivors. So I'm seeing he went back from this, and he was not good. He was not doing good after this. This disturbed him. Poor Thoth.
Yeah.
He,
Is the flood in the Bible the same, different to what Atlantis experienced, or is it derived from
I feel like there was different floods at different times, but this was just one of the ones experienced.
Mm.
There was more than one.
I see.
More than one. I wasn't there for any of the floods. I wasn't there for any of the cataclysms on the earth. So I can only tell what other beings who I know, like Thoth, what he has told to me
Mm-hmm.
and what he has expressed to me, because I love him very much. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a relationship.
I see. What were you doing in Atlantis when you went there?
It was very bright at this time, very different. Very different to the one where there was very bad things happening. It was like it was this city that was very, It had a lot of light in this city, and I am wearing some long robes, and I'm walking around. They have a library. The library is very beautiful. And they have there are people in the library, and many I was in the library sometimes often, and it's like the books are all the way up to the top of the building, and they don't need any stairs or anything to reach the books, because the people, they just levitated up to the top. They levitated up to the top to get the books or the scrolls or information.
That would have been handy.
Yeah, so people were just floating around this library, and they had some stained glass type of lighting, and in these shapes, and these lamp type of things were floating around as well. So it was like a floating library.
Mm.
And I am floating around the library. Get some books. Actually, I put some books here in the library. I put a lot of books in here to help people. Yes, I remember now. I put some books in here. I put some books in here and made diagrams and different things for people to understand the universe and how it was created. Yes, I was giving people information. I was giving people lots of information. And I think I am teaching some things to them. And it's like I give them like some books, but also I teach them in person. And yes, I was here a lot in this library, teaching what I know, teaching what I know about the universe, because at this point of this civilization, humanity was ready. It was ready for receiving this information. So the Elohims come down. Okay, they are ready. So we give them this information. But it went to shit after this.
Is it too much information that was provided, or were they already on the way?
I feel like, yeah, the people we assessed that they were ready for this information. Like there was nothing that was like a red flag that said that they weren't ready for this information. But afterwards they went a different way. They wanted to explore more in the dark way. So they begin with this, and it's okay if you explore. Curiosity is curiosity. And curiosity is very important. So they wanted to explore a little bit dark way, and this was okay. But they went too far with this. They went too far. It's like curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity is very important. But they were not balanced in their curiosity, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
So I'm at the library a lot. I'm very glowy and I wear long robes and I'm at the library. And lots of people listen to me. And I like when they listen to me.
So when you went there, you were teaching the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were very responsive to what I was saying. And I was using my hands and show them some things with because I could project some holographic images with my hands. Like I could project some light and I showed them, I was teaching them like just projecting some holographic light and show them some different, I guess, structures in the universe. I was showing them various things and then I was using my hands to show like a light projection of what they what they needed to know. And if somebody asked a question to me, no, what does this look like? What does this planet look like in the universe? Or what does that look like? Or how does this happen? How is the universe made? And I showed to them. And some of them, I get them to close their eyes. Okay, everyone close your eyes. And then I projected like a telepathy, an image in their mind of when the Elohim assisted to create the universe. And I show them. And then they afterwards they are sitting around like, wow, that's amazing. Wow. And then they are talking to each other with their heads. They do not speak with their mouths, you know?
Mm-hmm. So was that always the case that they didn't speak with their mouth? They always spoke
Or
telepathy?
in sometimes in the outer cities of Atlantis, they speak with their mouths. But in this city, especially in this library, everybody is using their minds.
Mm.
So in the library, nobody is making a noise like blah, 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 blah. No. Everybody is just using their mind to talk telepathically in this library.
I see.
And they often know that I am in the library. So they come into the library on the day that I am in the library and they listen to me. Sometimes Apollo come into the library and he teaches them things as well. We are teaching something.
Mm-hmm. So you'd teach different things. He would teach them. What would he teach?
Yeah, sometimes he taught them more masculine way and I taught them more feminine way. But he has different ways of presenting the information and that was very helpful for them. It's helpful for them to know from both ways
Mm-hmm.
the information. Yeah.
How were the Elohim living in Atlantis?
Well, we went to the library many times, but we didn't really sleep. We didn't need to sleep. So we were just doing activities pretty much all the time. But then sometimes we went on a ship, like a spaceship, and then we come back down to the city, and then sometimes we went back to the spaceship, and then we went back down to the city.
Mm-hmm. So you only stayed there a short time?
Yes, it was maybe like 100 years or so. It
Okay.
was a short time for us.
And why was that?
Yeah. Why was it? Well, we have other things that we need to do. We can be anywhere, but we manifested ourselves into physical bodies to interact with these beings, and then we figured out, okay, well, they are doing pretty good in our opinion. So then we went and we did something else, because we are always doing jobs. We never are idle. The Elohim, they're always doing jobs. They're not just well, sometimes we went to different planets for fun, but usually we are doing jobs. We have things to do.
Yeah. Was there such thing as healing temples in the Atlantis times where there were priestess?
Oh yes, seeing Apollo. This is the one he is helping with. Oh, this was like a pyramid type of structure in the city. And Apollo, I'm seeing he's wearing some robes, and this was one of the things that he was teaching. He was teaching how to, like, the anatomy of the light body and all of this thing, and how to heal. He was helping with them to learn this. And he was showing them like the different components of the light body, and he was showing them how to activate certain parts, and he's getting people's Merkaba fields, and he's getting them to spin and doing all kinds of things, in showing people how to connect even more with God through their hearts. It was very bright. I'm just seeing it's very, very, this was a very bright sort of place. There was a lot of light everywhere, like a glowy yellow light. If you get what I mean.
Yes.
It was like light in this city was reverberating off all of the surfaces. It was a very high energy place.
Was it in between the cities or was it far away? Could people get to it easily?
And this was a special city for learning. Like, I don't think the other cities in Atlantis were special as this one. This one was a very special one. This was a special, like a golden city type of thing. I'm seeing the city of light, golden city. And in this city, we were teaching them the things. And it was very comfortable for us, but the energy was very strong for the humans. So sometimes they did not live so long if they were in this city. The energy was very, very strong, but it was okay for us. And for other extraterrestrial beings, it was okay. Those beings didn't have short lives, but the humans, they considered it very important to learn these things at this time. So it was okay if they were in this place, if that makes sense. So it was a good trade-off for all of the things that they would learn. But my beingness is very, very powerful, so I was in the city all the time. and all of the Elohim. We were in the city all the time. And maybe also our energy, our combined energy made this place very, very strong. Yes, the Elohim made this place the energy was very strong, because in the places where we are gathered, the Elohim, the energy is very, very powerful. And sometimes this can make people throw up, or yes, because of our energy fields are very powerful. Sometimes it's a little bit incompatible with the human physical form.
Mm-hmm.
The energy that we put out is very, very strong. Very strong.
Would you say that the Elohim are emotional beings? More emotional than most, or?
Yes, this is how we are. We feel everything in the universe. We feel like I could feel an atom at the other side of the universe, floating through a cloud on the sky of a distant planet, and I could feel this atom. I could feel what it is experiencing, or I could feel the experience of another being very, very far away. I can feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also we are very emotional. This is our strength, our creativity. It's like our hearts are very developed. And this is how we create. This is the magic of how we create.
Is this the reason why humans are special to the Elohim?
Yes, it's like there is so much untapped potential there within the emotions. They still have it. They are not like other extraterrestrial beings that have abandoned their emotions. Humans are very special. They have not abandoned their emotions. They have so much untapped potential to go very, very far, which I guess in Atlantis times they did. They had incredible psychic gifts,
Mm-hmm.
but they shut themselves down because they were scared of what happened from last time. But there is so much potential there, so much potential that is unused. And the humans, this is important to note, but the way that they reproduce is very important. This still has the magical capacity in it, because many extraterrestrial beings, they are just doing test tube children or clones.
Mm-hmm.
They don't reproduce like the original way anymore, and this takes away some of the power. It takes away some of the being's power when it is born, and they don't know this because they are very advanced, to be honest. But it's like they have drifted away from what the original form. Okay, so when something is mixed with, when the original form is taken away from something, it loses a little bit of its power. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. So, for example, a pure metal such as silver is more powerful than metals that are mixed with each other. because, it's just original. So when extraterrestrial beings, when they just do test tube baby, or they don't mate in the traditional way, they don't have, two beings putting their energy together, there is, I guess, a loss of power that comes with this, because there is like this ancient magic alchemy in play with how things are made originally. Do you know the saying, as above, so below?
Yes.
This type of thing. So even you shouldn't think that you are better than animals in doing test tube babies, because the animals, they are doing the original way, with their reproduction. And other beings, they think they are better because they have the science. However, how things are made the original way, there is much power in this. There is much power and magic in this, in combining the forces with love in the heart, and how this is actually how the Elohim reproduce, because we don't do this in the test tube way, or just asexual. Sometimes it's asexual reproduction, like one of my sisters was born in this way, but not me. Like usually two Elohims, they are just doing sex the normal way, except with their light bodies, if that makes sense. Because there is a lot of power to this. So humans don't realize that they are at a point where they are actually very, very powerful, and they haven't gone the way of other extraterrestrial races. So they still have so much magic and power that is, what is the word, lying dormant in them. So they haven't dispersed their power by taking away their emotions, and they haven't dispersed their power by just creating test tube babies or clones. Okay, so those are two ways that extraterrestrial races have dispersed their power. Okay. But humans have not, so there is enormous potential here.
Is there a way? Are we on our way there with a lot of people having issues having babies and whatnot?
The dark ones have tried to mess with this and make the women and men infertile using soft metals and poisons in the food supply and water and in injections and whatnot. So they have tried to mess with this. And the humans are so powerful, actually. So, however they try to mess with this, I feel like you can get this back. You can heal the body, because there is so much power inherent in humans. So you can go into the light and ask the light, the sunlight, or the light within, to reprogram your body, so that these effects from the soft metals and things that they have done, because humans have so much magical power already within, and they are trying to make it so that test tube babies are more normal, so humans go this way. But this is it would be best if humans, well, let's just say it would be more powerful if you do the original way. Let's just say it would be so much more powerful for for humans. They would keep their power by doing this the original way.
Yeah. In the Greek myth, the blood of the gods is known as a strange substance called ichor. Is this true? What the Elohims manifested bodies containing different blood?
Yes, our blood was a different substance compared to regular humans because of the light that we had to hold within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very bright. So our substance, our physical that we created had to be biologically different compared to people, like at the molecular level it had to be different. Our organs, they still had like you could still see that, you know, these physical forms that we manifested with our minds when we came. You could
Mm-hmm.
still see we had various organs, you know. For example, like I had our organs, they all worked properly, but at the cellular level, we were different. Okay, so I had, you know, my organs were still working properly, but the difference was I didn't need to eat as much food. Like food was kind of optional for me, more for like a pleasure purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And let me think of the other differences. The blood of the Elohim, this was it was very different to humans because it was different at the cellular level. And I feel like it had some fumes. It had some fumes when it came out of our bodies that it was humans would smell this and it would have an intoxicating effect. It's like some noxious fumes coming from our, if we had like cut open the skin and it come out, the smell, it would make people behave a little drunkenly, you know, like they ingested a drug or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this was like they couldn't consume it because they would die. They couldn't consume our blood, but it's like I'm just seeing that it had some smell, some fumes to it that made the humans like feel a little bit lightheaded. It was very strange. But our physiology was like this because we needed to, it had to be different for our souls to be in a body, in a physical body.
Mm-hmm. And the physical form of the Elohim, where
yes, I had like I had reproductive organs that worked because I'm going to say something funny, but I accidentally got pregnant one time. So they worked normally, but I didn't have like my menstruation was very, very light. So I didn't need to worry about this sort of stuff, but I just had, yes, it worked normally. It worked normally. It was normal. But, when you look at us at the cellular level, if, for example, if a scientist from today studied an Elohim's body, they would be completely shocked. Yes. one of the bodies, the physical bodies that we manifested. So they could actually, the Elohim could reproduce with humans. This is, this is what they did to, I guess, make bodies that Elohim star seeds, their souls can go into. This was the plan. So they could reproduce with humans. It's just, certain things were a bit different, like the blood, but they could still see. We were very magical in our ways, so we could make it so that this would happen, and that we could breed with humans in this way. We were very skilled with our minds and our bodies, and making them so that they can do certain things that would be considered like superhero powers, supernatural sort of things.
Mm-hmm. And that wouldn't affect the human body?
Pardon?
That wouldn't affect the human body, as in...
No. It didn't. When Apollo had to breed with some women because of, yes, the plan, but also he liked some of them. This was okay with me because, Elohim would be considered polyamorous in a sense. Like we are partnered with our twin flame, but if we ask the twin flame, if we ask to them, is it okay if, I have a relationship with this one over here, and sometimes the other one, the husband or twin flame, will say, okay, yes, that is okay. I like that person. I like that being. That is okay. That's okay with me. Or sometimes they say, no, that's not okay. I won't allow this. And then you would just not do that. But there was still cheating. For example, if you went and just, if an Elohim just had sex and then they didn't tell their partner, that would be considered cheating. If they didn't ask them beforehand, is it okay if I just have relationship with this person? If they didn't tell them that, then that is considered cheating.
I see. So you had an understanding.
Yes, we had an understanding. So when Apollo asked me, okay, is it okay if I do this? I'm like, it's okay. That's okay with me. I don't have insecurity about this. I don't. But only sometimes we did cheating. That was no good.
And was it mainly just man and woman, or was there any difference?
Oh, this is well, if you know the Greek myths exactly, well, you know that the Elohim are mostly bisexual, actually, because we are like masculine and feminine energies, so we don't have to choose, if that makes sense. It's like yes, I like men and I like women, and Apollo, sometimes he likes the man. Yes, sometimes he's getting excited for the man. he have many boyfriends. Too many. He has too many boyfriends. he is shaking. He's laughing and shaking his head at me. But I think he has too many boyfriends.
That's good. He enjoyed himself.
Yes, he likes the boyfriends. some of my boyfriends are also his boyfriends.
Now, the
Anyway,
people's psychic abilities are coming out more and more. What can we expect moving forward, would you say?
let me see. Sorry, I was just still laughing about last topic. People's
Oh,
psychic abilities. This is this is coming more and more. Okay, so the light from the sun is beginning to change. It has changed to blue. And this is awakening certain things within the DNA, certain things within the mind, things and I guess abilities. So humans shut off a lot of abilities after Atlantis. Okay, so this awakening of the light is helping humans to actually bring back the things that they lost when Atlantis had fallen, and the abilities that they lost when Lemuria had fallen. These two places, and they are awakening the gifts of humans from these times. So all of the things that you have heard that people could do in Lemuria, that people could do in Atlantis, it's all coming back. It all has to come back because it can't be lost forever, you know? Humans are floating up in the vibrational sense. So as they float up in the vibrational sense, it is matching what the vibration that they came to when 25,000 years ago. Okay. So it's like they are floating up, and as they are floating up in the vibration, they are matching the collective consciousness of that vibration that used to be there and was always there at that certain time. You see, this mass consciousness, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. So humanity has like, how would I explain this? I wish I could use this ability like the holograph to show you this type of diagram. So imagine a layer of cake, and each layer of sponge cake, you are going up and up and up, and the sponge cake, the cake is always there. It has always been there and will always be there, because time is not what people think it is. Time doesn't exist. So everything that you have ever been is happening all at once. So as humans float up in this, get to certain layers of this sponge cake, and at this point in the cake, like the consciousness of Atlantis was at this point at this layer of the cake, and that humans, they are floating up and getting up to this point, and they are going to connect with that past self, okay, that was always there. They're going to connect and remember all of the skills that was at that particular layer in the cake. Is this a good diagram? Is this making sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
Yes, good.
Yeah. What is a good practice to stay calm and peaceful in fearful times, would you say?
Okay, the breath. Using the breath like this. Breathing in and out is very important. Also, if people are getting frightened, first of all, by things that are going to happen and going to take place, it would be good to have a nice bath or relaxing something. And then you breathe in and out, and you will start to feel better immediately if you take a bath with some salt or something, and just breathe in and out. And there are many ways you can stay calm. The trees have a very calm energy. So you go someplace where there is trees and there is nature all around, and you plant your bottom on the ground, and you use these practices where you breathe up the energy from the earth, and then you swirl it around and bring it down into the earth, and you breathe out all of the discordant energy. There are many, many practices, and also I like to use music in my life. In my daily practice, I like to use music, and you connect with a beautiful music. I'm not talking about like death metal or something like that. Don't be listening to this when you are trying to relax. That is the opposite of relaxing. But some very nice music like Enya. I liked Enya when I was like a child living on this earth. When I was in the body of Elizabeth, I was listening to Enya, these beautiful songs, like it sounds like angel's voice actually. So you listen to these beautiful sounds and you feel at peace. So you can have music that you like, and you can do drawings and art and very careful meditative things like watercolors and listening to music. There's so many ways that you can be calm, but don't flick through the phone. Don't flick through the phone on the TikTok and this type of thing. Because it's not conducive to calmness and keeping away the fear and anxiety, this type of thing. So when you are feeling very scared, you need to maybe put down your phone and read a book, or listen to music, or have a bath, or be near a tree or something. Humans used to be very good at this. And then, the phone was very, very good at keeping people in a constant fear state because of what is being presented. So always you can choose calmness, you can choose peace. Peace is a choice. You can shut out all of the bullshit here and there. You can shut it out, and you can just go within to your sacred space. Go within.
How about the water? Like, there's a lot of studies being done that have been done on the water, saying that you can program the water with positive.
Yes. This is very, very good practice. This is very wonderful practice. And also I went to the beach today, and this is a very good one. You go to a very beautiful place. The water can respond to you, and you can program the water from here too. You can program any water that you like. And the water that you put in your body, the water in your bath, you can program this water, because humans are actually very magical, and they just have to remember how to do it. And it's very easy way. Just the intention, and you feel within your heart, you feel your emotions. And then you program your what and visualize and set the intention.
Thank you for that. What is happening with the financial system right now?
Well, it's coming out that it has gone, let's just say, it's all going to come out what has been going on in the background for some time. You see, the financial system has already collapsed. So if people are panicking like, I have to get my money out, it's no good to do this. It's no good. You don't need to panic and pull all your money out unless, this bank is is not part of the new system. There's a new system in place. And many of the banks already are signed up to this system. It's like I'm seeing they have their hands tied. They have their hands tied because they have been implicated in crimes against humanity. So it's like I'm just seeing this image of a person who is like the leader of bank, and then they are like an officer or something is, got them in handcuffs, and they've got, this is just a symbolic image of what is happening. There is, not a higher power, but a different power that has got like a gun to their head and saying, okay, you can do this the easy way or you can do this the hard way. You have to be part of this system, otherwise you are done. Like there is because of the crimes, because of what is the word? Because of how many crimes maybe there was, because of how bad the crimes were at every single level of some of these corporations. They have a gun pointed to their heads and they have their hands tied because, yes, it is they are not allowed to do this anymore. There is a force that has taken over them and has taken over all of these ones. This is what you would say a benevolent force in the background. And they are facilitating this coming out of this information, how bad, how corrupt this system has been. So it is like a controlled demolition at this point, but we will all have new money system. Going forward next year, we will have a new system. This year you will see the collapse, but next year you will see everywhere, except maybe for a few countries lagging behind, there is new system.
Is there already a country that's already implemented the new system, like China?
I'm seeing USA has a different currencies coming. USA have different currencies coming, and Canada also have different currencies coming. I will see if Australia has. Maybe Australia will be after, maybe a little after USA and Canada, but they are getting some different ones too. They are getting different ones. All of the Western countries have to get different ones. And yes, throughout the world, they will all have to get different different system everywhere. It will be now, if people get scared of this, now people are going to get scared because it will look like a global currency. In the online aspect will look like a global currency. However, in the country, you can still have notes, okay? You still have notes, and they're like a paper bill, but the online version of the currency I'm seeing is like a global currency. And this is going to scare people, but because, you know, there were some plans in place from the Dark Ones that they would use this system, but for bad purpose. But I'm actually seeing this global currency is a good purpose system. It is not the bad ones that was going ahead before. It is a different one. So it's like all of the currencies are same. So we don't have you know, like Australian dollar is worth less than America and whatnot. And all of them will be the same. It will be like wiped all to the same, all to the same value. So no matter where you are in the world, even if there is some countries that have currency that is valued very, very low, they will be worth, everything will be worth the same. Everything will be the same. So take that as you will.
Thank you for that. There was a movie I remember watching when I was younger about like a barcode being inserted into like human skin, and then you could barcode
the chip.
Yeah. Is that part of the new system?
This was a plan of the Dark Ones. However, in going forward new system, this is going to be optional. If you want to do this, but you know, many people will choose not to do this because, you know, they're a bit scared of that type of thing. But you know, there are some people that will do it. This is optional if you want to have a thing in your skin. But you know, it was with the plan that the Dark Ones had, this was going to be not optional. Like they were going to like make it compulsory to have this in the skin, but going forward in new system, it will be optional if people want to have it in their skin or in their phone or like in like a card or something. There'll be many ways going forward.
That's good to know. Thank you for that. Now, did the myths about strange creatures and monsters roaming the earth come from your time?
Yes. First there was like the chimeras from Atlantis, and then there was the beings that came out of the CERN portal. So these could appear monstrous to people. They could change their form to be quite monstrous, and there was demonic beings that took a monstrous form, and it would scare people. So the world at that point was like, when Set was running Egypt, it was like the Wild West. You had to be very careful. If you go into certain places, you know that the people knew that if they went into certain places like the deserts in, you know, around certain areas, that they would not be seen again, this type of thing. So there were warnings that, you know, certain monsters lurked in certain areas. And that sort of myth has continued from that time.
Okay. The Adromaton with the blue skin that helped Elizabeth with her migraine. She wants to know a little bit more about that.
Yes, these are these people that live in Andromeda. They live in a planet that has, I'm seeing they have a desert planet. They have a desert planet, and I know these beings because I help them. I help these beings. So they contacted me and helped me, which was very, very nice. I thank these beings so much for that. So I help them with their healing, and then they helped me with my healing.
Oh, that's good.
So it was very kind. We exchanged each other, but these beings, they have blue skin and they have hair. They don't have bald on their head. There's some blue skin beings from Andromeda that are bald, and there's some that have hairs on their heads, and these ones have hairs on their heads. And they are shorter than humans, maybe like a head shorter or something than me. But they have a way with, they are mostly underground, but because their planet is very desert, but they can still go up to the surface of their planet, if that makes sense. They don't have much water on their planet, on the surface, but they have more water in the planet, so they live underground. But they were showing me some energetic flowers that, they brought from their realm and helped me with my headache at that time. So they brought the essence of these flowers from their world, and they brought it here to help me, the energetic essence of these plants. I'm seeing they had this flower that came out of a rock. And then they had like a different succulent type of plant. And then they helped me using these essences of these plants. And they had a special healing way where they used these plant essences and they pray over the plant essences and make magic with the water. And then they put a cloth in the water, and then they wrap this around the person's body, and then they massage and do energy work into the body. And they can heal a person completely doing this on their work. They are very, very their skills of their psychic skills are very powerful. So they don't need technology in a sense. They just use plants and their skills. They are not like a technological society. They are very feminine in their ways. And they use plants and energy to heal each other and to do everything. They are using energy and psychic skills.
Oh, that's good that they helped you with your migraine. Can they help anyone that asks for it, or was it just because you helped them?
You can ask for them, these people. Anyone can ask for information from this group. This is not a common group that is usually channeled by various people, or they don't make contact so often with people. They are a race that's forgotten about. I'm trying to think of their name and say their name. I don't want to mess it up because their name has more of like an energetic form than a sound. I'm going to attempt to do this sound. The Amakaya people. Okay, so like that doesn't translate very well, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just going to say the Amokaya people. So if you just feel the vibration of these, you visualize these blue beings with long hair. They often have long dark hair. There's some with lighter hair, but mostly it's long and dark. But they have blue skin and long dark hair usually. And they live on this desert planet. So if you visualize this, then you will get their energetic signature, and they will know that you want to make contact with them.
Okay. Thank you for that. Elizabeth wanted to talk about the positive reptilians that she was in contact with.
Yes, these ones too. They are quite kindly to me. And people don't know about them because they focus on the ones that have gone astray, but there are actually many reptilian races that are good as well, but people forget about this. They focus on the bad ones, but there's some that are very good. Okay, so this one is more like an offshoot of the other ones, and the ones that are malevolent, they have shorter snouts and their skin is more hard and crocodile-y or spiky. But the ones from this planet, they are more lizard-like. Okay, so if you imagine a lizard, they have a bigger snout, these ones, and they do not get up on their hind legs so often. You know, they don't walk around so much on their legs, and the other reptilian race considers them quite primitive. They like laugh at them and say that these ones have gone backwards and ha ha ha, you know, like we are superior to them. But they are they have very strong psychic skills and connection with nature. So they look more like lizards. They have a longer snout, and their eyes are more like geckos, like they're bigger, and their scales are more smooth and shiny. They have like an oil slick type of rainbow effect on their scales, so much more smooth. So they have become more lizard-like through their evolution. So these beings, they live on a planet. They live on a planet with two very bright suns. And so it's very bright in their world. So mostly they live underground because it's very bright, but on their planet they have lots of trees, lots of big trees that are very, very giant. They look like California redwoods. And they have made hollows through some of these trees, and they live inside some of these trees sometimes as well. Like they made hollows from the underground and travel up the trees. So they can travel from underground up to the trees, and 1 hour per day they go up to the trees, and they sit, they go out for a little bit to get their sunlight, because they still have like cold-blooded, so they still need to do the thing that their species does, where it has to get some sun on the skin to give them energy. So they do this for a little bit, and then they crawl back down the trees and back into their underground homes and cities. So like for a very short part of the day, they travel up to the surface on this world.
And how did Elizabeth come into contact with them?
Well, they are friends to me. They are friends to Lumina, because I have like I had a reptilian starseed life one time, and I wanted to help the reptilian race come together. And so I put a very small part of myself down into like the malevolent reptilian race and the planet. And I was a male reptilian being. I was a very angry one. But I grew up, and I was very, very frustrated with the system. I was very frustrated with the system, because I thought that if I do the things that they tell me to do, I will get higher position, and then I will be free. But I was never free. I always had a boss above me tell me what to do, and I hated it. I was never free. So I was like an assassin for people. I was an assassin for that race, and I went up into a very high position in their society. So I was killing a lot of beings. Like I was like executioner almost for them. And because I did that, I got very high position, and I thought I would be free, but I wasn't free. So when I discovered this system was so shit, I knew if I didn't do it anymore, they were going to kill me. They have a system where like you have to just do things. You have to do what you are told by the authority above you. Otherwise, you are useless and you are killed. So there is very much stress from that. I had to do things I didn't want to do. And I had to take the life from many beings. I didn't want to do these. But I thought maybe I could be free. But I discovered that I would never be free. I would never be free in this system. So I went my own way. It's like my soul started to activate. The light inside me was conflicting with the outside of me. And so I decided I would become a terrorist in their society. I wanted to do a revolution, and they caught me, and they tortured me and killed me in a very horrible way. But I exited the body before any of these very, very terrible things happened. I didn't want to do this. So I exited the body very quickly. But in this life, I was on the run for some time, and they had trouble catching me. And I don't like to think about it very much because it was very dark in a sense. It was kind of hopeless. I was just going to die anyway. But I seeded some light. I inspired some other beings, and word got back to this reptilian race that like it inspired other beings. Like I died like a martyr. I died a martyr, but it inspired other beings so that they haven't had many more problems after I incarnated there. Many beings are defecting and saying, I don't want to do this anymore. But to begin with, somebody had to be a trailblazer, and unfortunately it was me. Unfortunately, I had to do that, even though it was very painful for me. I hated it so much. But after I left the body, there was more, I guess, revolutionary activity taking place. And, many beings, they looked up to me and said, oh, many reptilians, they said he was the first to do it. He was the first one. So the revolutionaries, they looked up to me, and they keep me in their vision. And this, I guess, news of what I did traveled to this reptilian race that wants to reunite with the lizard ones, want to reunite with the other one. They want to come together again. And so they heard of what I did, and then we became friends. We became like comrades of each other. They heard that Elohim went into the body, because these beings are very psychic, and they're very psychic reptilians actually. They are not like the other ones. The other ones have psychic abilities, but these ones, they are more powerful, and they have telepathic abilities and all kinds of things. So the lizard beings are very, very skilled. So they heard about these. They heard that an Elohim went into the body of a reptilian and attempted to make a revolution and became a terrorist. And they were like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But they admired this, and so we worked together to help the reptilian race come back to each other. This is my commitment to the reptilian race, that they come back together and become evolved beings, reaching towards the light, towards God again. Coming back to who they are within. And so I work with the positive reptilian races. I work with them to facilitate the reptilians coming together and the healing of their race. I work with them to help them, to assist them. So they are very kindly to me also, and they assist. We assist each other. We work together.
That's good. Now, just if you could do a body scan on Elizabeth's body and let us know what's happening with her. She's in good form in her body.
Yes, just a little bit sunburn on the legs, but I will just heal this. I will just help this, putting some cooling blue energy onto the legs. But this was good. It's good to have the sun. It's good to have the light on the body. It's okay. It's okay. The body I want the body to be able to take the light more. So this is good. This is all good.
Would you also be able to heal the blocks related to sports and physical activity for her?
Yes, this is very important. Apollo, he is helping me with this, but I will call him as well to assist with this, with the physical activity, because this is very much like, what would I say, his specialty. This is his specialty. He loves the exercise and the sports. So I'm just releasing the blocks from my heart to do with sports and exercise. I love to exercise my body. I love to move my body. I love to feel free in my body. And I'm just giving myself, I'm just dissolving these blocks right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Apollo, he is just pouring some energy into me. Mm. Mm. My muscles are going to grow up. My muscles are going to become more toned. It's okay, my muscles, please. You can start working now. And I will feel in the next 3 to 6 weeks, I will feel more energetic in the body. Like I can have muscles again. It's safe to do so. It's safe to do sports and it's safe to do exercise. Okay, I just give healing to myself.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I think we're done for this session. Is there anything else that you would like Elizabeth to know?
It is like a diamond that is coming within me, a diamond light, like a 3D diamond. This is a gift that is coming, a gift that is coming in my form. And the diamond light will do many, many things. It will facilitate more of my gifts to come online. And it will facilitate for what I need to do next with what I have to do in this life. And I have been wanting to be to attract, a masculine to me, a masculine energy, and there is this person who is going to come into my life. There is this person who is going to come into my life this year, who will be like a boyfriend type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this will facilitate some things for me, some things I need to do. This is the next stage of, yes, I am bringing this to me. I am calling this into my life again, to come into my life. So I need to do the things that I need to do. I'm just hurrying this process along for myself, hurrying this process along. Because I long to be with a masculine again, but I cannot be with Apollo at the moment in the physical body. if you know what I mean, or talk or any of that, but I long to have a situation, a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I want to experience a relationship with a human that is not like I have had some poorly experiences with human men. I will attempt, if I can get it right this time. I am hoping I can get it right this time. Relationship with a human man.
And they have to match your vibrance, your
Yes.
how you vibrate.
Yes, he is going to match my vibration. I don't need to worry so much about this, but I'm just going to pull out some more blocks to do with this, just pulling them out, because I need to get this right this time. I need to be able to have a relationship with a human man that it does not end in tears or bullshit or anything like that. I want to get it right this time. I want to get it right. So I'm just shaking off the old patterns so I can get it right this time. I will get it right this time. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right this time.
So you didn't get it right because it wasn't the right time, or did you have blocks, did you say?
Yes, I had so many problems with the human man, disrespecting me. I just want to get it right this time, just for the comfort and growth of my own soul. I just want to get it right this time. But I will get it right this time. I'm very much more skilled than I was in this body. Okay, I've learned so much more than I did when I was having relationships with men before. I've learned so much more now. So I'm ready now. I'm ready, and I'm going to get it right this time. I had so many disrespects when I first came to Earth. So many problems with men disrespecting me, and I had trouble, and like I said before, I accidentally killed some men who tried to jump on me and rape me. So I haven't had a good experience with the human man, but I want to have a good experience. I want to have a good experience. I think they deserve this from me. They deserve this from me. So if I can bring a nice man into my life, Apollo is okay with this. He is respecting, and he is very appreciating this and what I have to do to help the men evolve and respect the women, and help the men come into their inner masculine, come into their divine self, their role, and balance themselves with the feminine. They need to have the feminine and the masculine. We all have the feminine and the masculine. We need to balance within ourselves. This is so important, this balance, this divine marriage within the heart, within our own souls, the masculine and the feminine. I already have this, so I have no problems with this. It is just the humans, the human men. They deserve more from me. They deserve more from me than just me getting angry at them because they disrespect me. I should be more compassionate to them and show them my love. I want to show them my love. I want to show them my love again. So if I remember to give my love, I will give a burst of energy on this session. I will give a burst of energy to the men of this world, the human men. Give a burst of energy to them, my love for them. Okay, and this will help. This will help me, but it will help them too. Everyone needs to help each other.
Mm-hmm. And can we send epiphanies to everyone that's listening, or the people that need an extra push to love themselves?
Yes. I will give a download for people listening to this. A download from the Elohim, and also my Elohim sister Aphrodite. She is also going to give a download for the people listening to this, especially the men who have been wounded in their love. To open up to the love. Open up to the love. Open up to the love of the goddesses, the divine feminine. To open up to this love, to the loving feminine and the loving masculine. Anyone who listens to this will receive like activation for the divine marriage within themselves of the two energies.
Beautiful.
I'm feeling very, very warm. Just feel the warmth through your body. Feel the warmth and the love. And that's all. I can't put too much energy into my body at this time because otherwise, it will be too much. But I will just disperse it out for everyone.
Thank you for that. Thank you for all the information you've provided. Are we complete for the session?
Yes. We are complete.
Beautiful.
We are complete.
Thank you for that. We're going to bring your light body back to your physical body now. Just bringing your energy back to your physical form. All of your renewed and realigned and vibrant energies returning now into your body. But before you open your eyes, you take note of the expansion of your heart and the increased depth of your wisdom and knowing, and you send gratitude to all who participated in your journey today. And you are returning to your everyday awareness of consciousness, feeling yourself return now to this room in the present day and time, just waking up naturally and completely and fully. And you can begin to stretch and move and open your eyes when you are ready. You're beginning to wake up now. You can move your arms and legs as it feels so good to stretch and move. You're feeling wonderful all over, refreshed, energized. You are fully awake. Welcome back.
Good. It's safe to exercise. Okay, I just give healing to myself.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I think we're done for this session. Is there anything else that you would like Elizabeth to know?
It is like a diamond that is coming within me, a diamond light, like a 3D diamond. This is a gift that is coming, a gift that is coming in my form. And the diamond light will do many, many things. It will facilitate more of my gifts to come online. And it will facilitate for what I need to do next with what I have to do in this life. And I have been wanting to be to attract, a masculine to me, a masculine energy, and there is this person who is going to come into my life. There is this person who is going to come into my life this year, who will be like a boyfriend type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this will facilitate some things for me, some things I need to do. This is the next stage of, yes, I am bringing this to me. I am calling this into my life again, to come into my life. So I need to do the things that I need to do. I'm just hurrying this process along for myself, hurrying this process along. Because I long to be with a masculine again, but I cannot be with Apollo at the moment in the physical body, if you know what I mean, or talk or any of that. But I long to have a situation, a relationship. I want to experience a relationship with a human that is not like I have had some poorly experiences with human men. I will attempt, if I can get it right this time. I am hoping I can get it right this time. Relationship with a human man.
And they have to match your vibrance, your
yes.
how you vibrate.
Yes, he is going to match my vibration. I don't need to worry so much about this, but I'm just going to pull out some more blocks to do with this, just pulling them out, because I need to get this right this time. I need to be able to have a relationship with a human man that it does not end in tears or bullshit or anything like that. I want to get it right this time. I want to get it right. So I'm just shaking off the old patterns so I can get it right this time. I will get it right this time. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right this time.
So you didn't get it right because it wasn't the right time, or did you have blocks, did you say?
Yes, I had so many problems with the human man, disrespecting me. I just want to get it right this time, for the comfort and growth of my own soul. I just want to get it right this time. But I will get it right this time. I'm very much more skilled than I was in this body. Okay, I've learned so much more than I did when I was having relationships with men before. I've learned so much more now. So I'm ready now. I'm ready, and I'm going to get it right this time. I had so many disrespects when I first came to Earth. so many problems with men disrespecting me, and I had trouble. And like I said before, I accidentally killed some men who tried to jump on me and rape me.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had a good experience with the human man, but I want to have a good experience. I want to have a good experience. I think they deserve this from me. They deserve this from me. So if I can bring a nice man into my life, Apollo is okay with this. He is respecting and he is very appreciating this and what I have to do to help the men evolve and respect the women and help the men come into their inner masculine, come into their divine self, their roar, and balance themselves with the feminine. They need to have the feminine and the masculine. We all have the feminine and the masculine. We need to balance within ourselves. This is so important, this balance, this divine marriage within the heart, within our own souls, the masculine and the feminine. I already have this, so I have no problems with this. It is just the humans, the human men. They deserve more from me. They deserve more from me than just me getting angry at them because they disrespect me. I should be more compassionate to them and show them my love. I want to show them my love. I want to show them my love again. So if I remember to give my love, I will give a burst of energy on this session. I will give a burst of energy to the men of this world, the human men. I will give a burst of energy to them, my love for them. Okay, no, this will help. This will help me, but it will help them too. Everyone needs to help each other.
Mm-hmm. And can we send epiphanies to everyone that's listening, or the people that need an extra push to love themselves?
Yes. I will give a download for people listening to this. A download from the Elohim, and also my Elohim sister Aphrodite. She is also going to give a download for the people listening to this, especially the men who have been wounded in their love, to open up to the love, open up to the love, open up to the love of the goddesses, the divine feminine, to open up to this love, to the loving feminine and the loving masculine. Anyone who listens to this will receive like activation for the divine marriage within themselves of the two energies.
Beautiful.
I'm feeling very, very warm. Just feel the warmth through your body. Feel the warmth and the love. And that's all. I can't put too much energy into my body at this time because otherwise, it will be too much. But I will just disperse it out for everyone.
Thank you for that. Thank you for all the information you've provided. Are we complete for the session?
Yes, we are complete. We are complete.
Thank you for that. We're going to bring your light body back to your physical body now. Just bringing your energy back to your physical form. All of your renewed and realigned and vibrant energies returning now into your body. But before you open your eyes, you take note of the expansion of your heart and the increased depth of your wisdom and knowing, and you send gratitude to all who participated in your journey today. And you are returning to your everyday awareness of consciousness, feeling yourself return now to this room in the present day and time, just waking up naturally and completely and fully. And you can begin to stretch and move and open your eyes when you are ready. You're beginning to wake up now. You can move your arms and legs as it feels so good to stretch and move. You're feeling wonderful all over, refreshed, energized. You are fully awake. Welcome back.
Good. Well said.